Have you ever thought your toaster was more than just hot to the touch? Well, in Date Everything, you can date your toaster as well as everything in your house. And get paid for it? Question mark? Hey everyone, and welcome to Dysfunctional with DY and Luna. My name is DY.
And my name is Luna.
And we're so excited to have you here. Today, we're going to be talking about the amazing game Date Everything, where you can literally date everything in your house.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like only in today's day and age would a game like this release and it wouldn't be seen as weird. You know what I mean? If this released even in the 2000s or even in the 2010s, people would be like, what the hell is this?
No, yeah, they
They'd be
would.
like,
I feel like people are way more accepting of people and their personifications of a lot of things and dating wise. Well, not everyone, but you know.
yeah. Yeah. But we wanted to do this episode because as of recording this, we have an active playthrough of this game over on DY's Twitch channel. Um, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. We're nowhere anywhere close to actually finishing it, but we figured we might as well have a little like goalpost of some kind to kind of talk about the game and how we first stumbled upon it and what clearly our favorites are and some of the extra characters that gave us some surprises, twists and turns, and then ones we absolutely despise, and in any other case, I would have thrown out the window as to why they exist.
Yeah. Um, we actually, to get into numbers, we're 39% of the way through. So, not great. But I know people who have played this game have probably only just done the ones that they're actually interested in, but Luna and I are actually interested in doing everybody's endings just so we can experience the game in full, because why play a game and only play a part of it? That's my thinking, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, especially because even if we don't like some of these characters romantically, that doesn't mean they still don't have like cool stories or interesting personalities. Like there's
Yeah.
definitely been some surprise characters in our playthrough that I'm like, you know what? If this was a real person, I would totally like vibe with them like on an average basis. Like they seem
Yeah,
cool.
for real. Me too. And we actually learn a lot of things in this game too that maybe people not wouldn't have known normally.
Yeah. I've definitely seen a lot of people um with looking at all the representation that's in this game. Obviously, you can pick your preferred pronouns in this game, and everyone's will abide by it, obviously. But they'll use specific gendered language, whichever one you use. So, for example, if you use she/her pronouns, like I do, they will not only address you as such, but they'll also use specific nicknames and pet names catered to a feminine context or whatever the case is. Same thing for if you choose a they them pronouns or he him pronouns. And I find that really fascinating and really interesting, especially because there are certain languages that don't abide by that. Like a lot of like European and even some Middle Eastern languages, they have very gendered names for things. So the fact that they will specifically say those versions or have a gender neutral version, I think it's just an extra like added touch to
Yeah.
this. And I think
Yeah.
that really immerses people. The amount of times I've seen other people of the same ethnicity or same background reacting to a character that has that same ethnicity, and they talk about or they use specific pet names or they use their native language. It's very, I don't know, it's very wholesome to see, to see that and have people feel seen through that and through characters that they like. And I think that's really important.
I agree. and it's honestly great that this game has gotten the kudos it deserves, because it's really well done, and I feel like
Mhm.
everyone who worked on this project did an amazing job, and every single character is unique. Like, there's not one character that you could say that's similar to another. Like, everyone has their own personality, their own feelings about things, and I quite like that. And that's a great point of universe making. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, where we'll say this right now, praise to the art team and praise to all the voice actors. You all did a phenomenal job when it comes to personifying these regular household items. And the fact that practically every single voice line in this game, other than the player's responses, is entirely voice acted. That is hundreds of lines over the course of hundreds of hours of gameplay. That cannot be easy. And that's not even like just the characters within their storylines. A lot of time the characters will interact with other people, and then that's more dialogue they have to talk about.
Yeah.
And that takes time and dedication. And like, when was the last time, like in a game like this, where that is like prevalent? Even in like other dating sims, sometimes characters will not have any dialogue. Some of
Or
them
they'll
are,
just have noises.
yeah, yeah.
But
But we
yeah,
want,
could you imagine trying to, like, they obviously, these lines would have taken days, if not weeks, to record. Can you imagine working around every single person's schedule for this? And you have
oh
102 voice actresses plus more?
yeah, it is genuinely, and some of them double up. Some of these
Yeah,
actors double up on their roles too, and they got some really big name actors in here too.
yeah.
Like to name a few, you have people like Matt Mercer, you have Steve Blum, you have Gray Delisles, you have ProZD, you also have, you have so many people that are well known. If you know your video games, you know your animation, these, they don't slack off. They put their whole, like, 110%, and you can feel it in their performances. And I don't think this game would have done as well had it not, like, the voice acting did a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
but yeah, we wanted to talk about this game because we are currently playing it on Twitch. We need to get a new episode at one point, but don't worry. Um, eventually. But we wanted to go over our experience for playing the game at this point in time and kind of explain our journey and where our headspace has been at with these characters. Because even if we haven't met some of them, or if we have, we just haven't like fully developed their relationships yet, we still want to have a discussion because this game, as I keep saying with other games like this, it's like Pokemon. Everybody has their favorite character in a game like this where it's a massive cast. So even if you think, oh, just because my character only gets like one plush or one piece of merchandise, that means, everybody has their favorite. It may not be our favorite, but somebody has their favorite. And we want to highlight that.
Yeah.
And with 102 characters, those two extra being DLC, we got a lot to get through. So let's
Plus all
trug.
the, like,
Yeah.
background characters and stuff as well.
Yeah. Um, but let's get into how we found this game, because I was one of those people that I heard buzzings of it like around the time that it was coming out, or like trailers and stuff like that. That's how I heard about it, was just through online marketing more than anything. And of
Yeah.
course, me recognizing like a ton of the voice actors because I'm weird like that. But yeah,
It's your special interest.
hyperfixation and or pattern recognition. I don't know, one of the three.
Yeah. I first heard of it, unfortunately, on TikTok with a bunch of edits about the door.
The door! The door!
Yeah. Lovely edits about Mr. Dorian.
Lovingly
Um,
played by Ben. Lovingly played by Ben Starr. We love you, Ben. We hope you're doing great.
he's amazing. But yeah, that was my
um,
first hearing of it. And then actually, I started seeing more videos about it. So interest grew. And it eventually I learned that Matt Mercer was in it as well. And also Carolina Ravassa, who is Sombra.
mhm.
And also Symmetra's voice actress. I don't, what's her name?
She's like all the way down here on. We have a list of all these characters because we have a lot to get through, and we're not going to be able to name all of them if we don't have a list.
Yeah.
So bear with us here.
Anjali.
She Punjab,
Anjali
yes.
Bamani.
hmm Uh, we also have Ashley Johnson, famously as Ellie from Last of Us, if that gives you any indication.
Yep.
I mentioned Steve Blum. I've mentioned Marisha Ray. I've mentioned Shelby Young, as we've talked about. Dante Bosco is in this game. Johnny Youngbosch, Linda Lindback. Like, you probably recognize some of these people from anime dubs or video games and all that jazz. Uh,
Ashley Birch, who played Chloe Price and Aloy.
we have Neil Newbon, who played Astarion in Baldur's Gate. We have Noah Scott, who's the dub voice for Legoshi in Beastars. We have Liam O'Brien. Most people probably know him from Critical Role. We have Robbie Damon, Laura Bailey. We have Zeno Robinson. We have like Max Middleman. We have a lot of people in this game. Troy Baker. Troy Baker is in this game. Mr. Joel Miller himself. He's in here. Ray Chase is in here. Christina V. J. Michael Tatum. Like Brendan Lee Mulligan. We have a ton of people to talk about.
Yes.
And we might as well just get through it all. But as like because we haven't talked with some of these people, like we have to like get introduced, but we don't know some of their characteristics and whatever. We might as well talk about our favorite characters and why we like them. Because again, our playthrough is a joint effort. So if even one of us has the hots for a character, it's an automatic we are getting a love ending with that character. If neither of us does, then it's an automatic friendship. And if we or one of us, one or both of us hate the character, we are going to get a hate ending
Yeah.
first. And then we got to go back and get the friendship because as much as we don't like some of these characters, we don't necessarily want them any harm. We want them to live out their lives and whatever so they can leave us alone and get out my house. So, you know.
Exactly.
But let's
But we like to call our current loves our harem, as you do. Um, we currently have 12,
Mhm.
which or I technically 11, but yeah. Would you like to start?
Well, you're the one that immediately was like, okay, here's the first one we're doing. We're not doing anything else until we get him. It's the door. Again, the door, the menacing door. Yeah. Very clearly, Dorian has been a very fan favorite since the very beginning. He's one of the first characters you meet in the game. And yeah, both me and DY were like, yeah, we don't need to argue on this one. You get him every other Tuesday, I get him every other weekend. It's fine. It totally works
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Like we basically have joint custody of this fictional door, essentially. Um, Once again, Ben Starr does a fantastic job, and he knows of the thirst that people have for this character. So tread lightly when talking about him. But genuinely, what did we? And by we, I guess I mean us. But like, what were your thoughts? Because again, you found this game through him through thirst edits, presumably.
Yeah.
So obviously you think he's just a good character design and therefore you think he's hot. But when we actually played the game, did your perception of him change? Of like, I don't care what you're saying, I just think you're hot, or is it like, oh no, you actually like have a lot of you're guarding yourself
He
because you
has
were
a
hurt before.
personality, and that's all that matters.
Right,
If
right, right,
if you're
right. It's
if you're just a boring person, then I don't really enjoy. Like, if you don't have feelings and emotion, like there's people out there that don't have feelings and emotions that they openly show. I like, as you start to learn about him and talk to him more, he opens up to you more.
mhm. Almost like a locked door. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm leaving.
Like, no, no, no. But in all seriousness, though, I was in the same boat. I was in the same boat where I looked at that character design and I was like, fuck, they know their audience, don't they? And then, like you, it was the same thing of having him open up more and getting him to trust us more through the act
Open
of
up.
talking to basically every single. All right. um, but it was basically like one of the main things to get Dorian to even get close to being like, oh, I'm like, I could potentially be attracted to you, is by talking to basically every single version of a door in that house, which took us so long to do because there's like 17 of them across the whole house, and they each have different interactions. I
My favorite doors were the ironing board door and the back door, because in the ironing door he's just tiny, and then in the
he's
back
just
door you're
tiny.
just facing his back.
Um, and before anyone says anything, yes, we know about the trapdoor. I wish we properly did the interaction that comes with it because I thought the achievement came when you talk to every single version of the door. No, you need like 99% of the doors. So you can miss one of them to not talk to, but you still get the achievement. I did not know that. So we did leave the trapdoor last, and it didn't hit as hard as it should have.
Yeah.
When it came to that
But
reveal, which
I also
sucked.
read somewhere that you had to do every other door first, and then you go to the trap door, because it's more of a romantic, or like, because you know him better, he's more open to you, and that's
Mm.
why it hits different. But it didn't.
No, the amount of times, very jokingly in the playthrough, where I had to steer you away and be like, "No, I know you want to, I do too, but no, not yet." But like, come on, tugging you by your collar, like your sleeve, being like, "No, nope, nope, stop it, stop it." like,
Every
like,
single time I
like.
would pass the office door, I would just go in there and just stare at it.
Did you know of his of that like design reveal prior, or was it did you just see him in the suit and that was it
I've just seen the
prior to the
suit.
point? Okay. So you were mostly more curious than anything of like, okay, we know he's shirtless, but like what else is there? Like, is there anything else about answer is just some tattoos. That's all it is. It's not
Yeah.
anything it's not anything mind blowing, but I mean, hey, he's we
We don't
both
need to go into certain things.
yeah, no, no. I think we've made it abundantly clear on why we picked. But yeah, I guess we'll alternate. Because some of them were solely my picks and some of them were solely your picks. A good chunk of them they intertwine, but what were yours that were like exclusive? I know you wanted the door, but like was there anybody else or was the rest of this either combined or some of them were just solely mine? Do we remember? Because
Um,
I don't think we wrote it down.
Besides
Who
Memoria, I think that's really the only one that was mine per se, because we just because I'm bisexual, so woman. um, but that's besides the point. But I think most of them were a group effort, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly. Like,
There's some
you
of
told me
them.
about you told me about
Tony.
Tony. You told me about
Tony.
Tony, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you have Roger Craig Smith, aka the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog, playing a dumbest rock toolbox with a New Jersey accent.
Yep.
Oh, we love Tony. We love Tony. He's dumb as rocks, but you know what? That's fine. We can educate him. It's fine.
Yeah, we can change.
I don't think we can change him, and I don't think he's gonna learn, but you know what? That's fine. As long as he doesn't get like electric shock, he's fine.
Yeah.
Um, which yeah, we might as well. That was one of them I think I kept hidden from you because that was one that I vaguely knew about, mostly because he's played by Sonic's voice actor, so immediately I was intrigued just by that concept alone. Um, but I remember seeing that character design and I was like, he's gonna have a Jersey accent, isn't he? Or he's gonna have a vague Italian accent, and I was right. I
Yep.
was so right.
Yep.
I think I was egging you on with Tony though, wasn't I? Wasn't I? You have the toolbox, don't you? I think you should check. You should totally check the toolbox. Like, I think I would. I want to say I was egging it on because I was over here being like, yeah, I want Tony, and then you saw the design. You're like, actually, we both want Tony.
Yeah. Pretty much.
um, I think it was the same thing with Cabrizio. Cabrizio, voiced by Sonny Ortari. He was also another one that I knew concept wise, and I was like, you should talk to the cabinets. I'm just saying, you should talk to the cabinets. And once again, it was another of, all right, I'll see what you're talking about, and then ah,
Yeah.
super romantic Italian man. Yes.
Everyone loves Italian men, except lesbians. Well, it's not entirely true. Love as a friend. Because there
I
are
mean,
very. Because basically every Italian man is fruity, even if he's not gay. It just comes with the
that's.
territory.
I think that's just like probably stereotype wise, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But let me tell you, as someone who is half Italian, my father's side, there's no, they are some of the straightest men I think I've ever met in my entire life.
I don't
Like
mean
if
fruity
I
as in
was,
gay, I just mean fruity as in like happy go lucky all the like most of the
oh
time.
yeah, I would say more often than not, I would say yeah, they're more inclined to be super social like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I would say that, yeah. Um, I should probably look at the list. The first character we actually romanced though, like properly, because again, Dorian took a long time because again, 17 doors. The
Yeah.
first one we romanced properly was Chance. The D20 played by Matt Mercer. Very funny guys. He's the guy. He's the DM for Critical Role. Ha 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 ha.
He's your
This was
Huckleberry.
another Mr. Huckleberry, also who plays Cassidy in Overwatch and like a billion other things. Again, he's everywhere. He's in your walls. Again, Matt Mercer does a really good job. He plays a really good, like, awkward, nerdy guy. Other than like, and not a character you typically see him as. You either see him as like super flirty, or you see him as like an angsty badass. Because like
Yeah.
that man plays Ganondorf in The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Remember that. So you go from like a guy who just wants to play D&D to literally the main villain in a main like Zelda like in a main Zelda game. Like that is range right there. That is range. And well, we love him for it. We love you, Matt. But yeah, that one was a harder one to do because the walkthrough we were using was really like it only mapped out one of the paths because you can take three paths with chances because you actually play D&D with him. They don't call it that for copyright reasons, but it's D&D. And you basically get three routes you can pick from, and then once that's finished, then you have the potential to get 11. The website we had was it only wrote out like one of the paths, and it didn't give us any information on the other ones. And I was like, we gotta wing it. We gotta wing it because the one that actually had information on it, we weren't high enough level to do that. So I was like, which one of these sounds more appealing to you? And we go with it.
Yeah.
Like a real D&D campaign, honestly, like a real D&D campaign.
Basically, with every character that we go through, we just do the most friendliest option, and whatever ends up that way ends up that way.
Yeah.
Unless, of
Honestly, it
course,
ended
we
up being
decide that we want to date them.
yeah. Again, if we don't have immediate romantic interest, we are friends until we hate them, and then we have to make them friends so they can get out my house again.
Yes.
um, but yeah, no chances. Because we had nothing to work with the path we chose, which I think was the mage, right? It was the sorcerer mage or whatever it was,
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah. We had no footing for like where it was. So this really was like we were playing D&D. So we're literally discussing it amongst ourselves, being like, if we did this and this could happen, but if we did this and this would happen. Like I guess that's the beauty of playing D&D though. And again, with Matt Mercer actually being a DM or a dungeon master, it adds an extra level of he knows what he's doing, and that's probably why they casted him as that and not as like Dorian, or they casted him as like a super edgy guy. They probably did it solely because of him for Critical Role,
Well, that, and
which
he has a very impressive range of characters to work
yeah,
from.
yeah, exactly. Like if you went to the other pass, you could take with Chance. Every little NPC that he makes in that Matt does those voices just like he does when he DMs, and I think that's an extra layer on top of it. Like
Absolutely.
in our path, yeah, like in our path, for example, we had an evil sorceress, we had little like gnomes or whatever the fuck, and then we
Yeah. A
had
shovel.
uh
Wasn't the shovel alive or something?
no, the rest of the tools I think was. The shovel wasn't. The
Hmm.
shovel wasn't. But we had evil sorceress, we had little like gnome munchkin things or whatever, and then we had sentient tools. Um, he voiced every single one of them, and he gave them all distinct voices and like little creature voices, you know. And I again they know what he does best, and I think that's just another testament to the casting, because you could theoretically put any of these actors in any of these roles and it would all work the same way, like realistically, but they play to the actor's strengths depending on which character they played, and
They
I think that's
definitely
just a
do.
good testament. Yeah, I think that's a good testament to that, you know.
The writing in
Like
this
yes,
game is phenomenal.
yeah, like obviously you're gonna have some type casting. Like you have Dante Bosco, who plays Zuko in Avatar: The Last Airbender. He plays the fireplace.
Yep.
Like very funny, guys. Like ha ha ha, very funny meta joke. Um, but that's all we could think about. It's just like that's just Zuko. That's just Zuko. We
Yeah,
love you, Dante, but
if
again, like
the character is played by someone that we know like outright, we'll be like, "Oh, hi Zuko, hi Symmetra, and hi
yeah.
Sombra."
Hi, Soldier 76. Yeah, like most of them being Overwatch, but yeah. um, but I don't know. Playing Chance was fun, and it actually felt really gratifying when we got his love ending. Because I don't think we planned him to be the first. I think we tried to get Dorian to be first, and it didn't happen like that because it took too long. So we're like, well I want to do D&D. I want
Yeah,
to basically play.
we wanted Dorian officially as the first, but then we realized we had to talk to every door in the house. So,
Yeah.
and then I think Chance was actually an accident, if I remember correctly. They
I
we weren't we were going to go for the love ending for him because it's Matt Mercer, but I don't
Mhm.
think when we were doing it, it was on purpose.
No, I thought there was like for me the way that I read it on the walkthrough. I thought we had to do each individual route. I thought we were going to do
Yeah,
multiple rounds of D&D with different one shots. And that's how you get the love ending? Nope, you just pick one, you stick with it, and at the end of it you have the chance to get a love ending.
yeah.
And it's not like obviously we weren't going to argue. We're just like a little bit more sudden than we thought, but all right, we'll make that work. We'll do that.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah. Because
Um
we were under the impression that we had to do every single one because that's how most of the characters in this game work. You have to
mhm.
go through each of their different story portions and then you get to the love ending. But I also kind of
Mhm.
like that because it gives you different information based on how you play it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Um, who else do we have on this list? We
we only
like I know
mentioned
we brought
Memoria, so we can go into Memoria more. Um,
yeah. I
but
like her as a I like her as a concept. Obviously, this is not I as a straight woman, I obviously feel nothing. I like her design though. I like the fact that she's super gothic and she's 2000s nostalgia. So I think it's very fitting that she's like a goth mommy essentially with her petting like a robo dog
It's giving Lydia from Beetlejuice.
from Beetlejuice. Yeah. It's almost like Lydia, Wednesday, and Morticia all
Yeah,
rolled into one.
yeah.
What I really
Besides
liked about
besides the voice for me, that's pretty
mhm,
much because she has a deeper like feminine voice.
sultry. Yeah, a
Yeah,
deeper, like, sultry voice, yeah.
yeah. Like I'm not incredibly attracted to her as a like her figure, I guess, but I think it's the voice that helped me with that. But wasn't she also an accident for love?
She was, yeah, she was. The thing with Lady Memoria, we might as well talk about gameplay. She's found in the attic. As previously mentioned, she's 2000s nostalgia. Basically, her whole gimmick is that you can talk to her and she will put up a piece of artwork or a photo or whatever, and you can choose to keep it or throw it away. And if you choose to keep it, it can be visibly displayed in your house.
And you
And
get to
first of all,
choose
I
where
love
it
that.
goes.
Yeah, and you get to choose where it goes, for the most part, at least like the hanging. Oh no, no, you are right. We were able to pick all of them, all the
Well,
spaces.
I think
Uh,
they some of them were room specific, but you could choose where in the room it went.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, because the other one I'm thinking of is art, and art you had a select few places where you can put artwork. So I think
Yeah,
you're right. I think it's like room specific. Um, but her whole thing is that, and not only did it give us more to look at around the house, and again, a lot of really cool artwork. Again, beautifully done by the art team. Beautiful job. Um, but it kind of felt like you were going like having a mini backstory for the player character. Like, yes, obviously the like photos and stuff like that are just grayed out little mannequins. You obviously don't have any features or any like anything distinctive of a human person. But the fact that you could easily imagine yourself in those photos or imagine yourself taking those pictures or imagining you went to this like concert or whatever, it's a nice little added, I guess, trip down memory lane, I guess, which I guess is the point. So, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, it works.
and that's why it's just a basic character because you're supposed to imagine it's you, not a predetermined person.
I was reading the walkthrough, it said one thing, and then it apparently wasn't right, and we ended up getting a love ending instead. Which again, I'm not mad about, but as a straight woman, I'm just like, you're just here, and I feel really bad that you're with the rest of these men. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm
And
so sorry.
she's the lesbian of the group. She doesn't give a shit about any of the others. She's just like, yeah, I guess I'm here. Or I guess she would technically be bisexual because she's technically with
Yeah.
me, but
Yeah.
that's besides the point. But she does not give a shit about any of the men. She's just there, vibing, living her best life.
This was my pick, and before anyone says anything, shut the fuck up. I already know you don't need to. Look, I originally was like, no, I'm not gonna fall for the trash can because that's clearly, obviously, like a right, I'm not gonna fucking do that. But like I did change him. I was like, I can fix him. I can change him. And I did. No one can say otherwise.
Yep.
Oh god. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think he's got like a pretty cool design. Some of it I think looks kind of awkward, but that's just because the material like he's working with. I like his like realized design, which we'll see later on when we actually get to that point. But I do like his
Eventually.
realized design yeah. And when he looks properly more human and actually has like human clothes, I do like the translation of that way better. I couldn't tell you. I
Mhm.
genuinely could not tell you. It almost like fuck
At
it. I don't
first,
know.
at first, I was like, really, but then he actually has a good backstory and why he is like this. So I think knowing more about a character is what makes me
Mhm.
connect with them more.
Yeah. Yeah. I also just I like the like and maybe this just because I was a s- I keep saying I was an emo kid, but I never committed to the fit, but I definitely had the angst and was listening to the music at the time. Um but probably just angsty and also just like really edgy. Like
Mhm.
um which is a perfect transition into Shadow Lord is another one, which was also solely my once again, I originally was like, do I like him because he's edgy or because I think this like non-humanoid design hot? And I couldn't decide which it was. And also, it's like that one Markiplier meme where it's like, would this make me a furry if I said smash when he's not actually, but also kind of is? I don't know. There's someone probably made a furry costume of that, and I would want to see it because I want to see how that would translate.
Yeah.
I just want to see how the skeleton of that works. Um, but once again, emo edgy boy. That's all that it is. But once again, once he puts up a front of like I'm the super edgelord when in actuality he's like, no, I put up this front because I got my heart broken by a friend and I got walls.
Yeah.
But like now that you went on my little like quest or whatever,
This
like
is the
putting
real
fingers.
me.
This is the real me putting like taps fingers together, like the pointer fingers together. Yeah. He's voiced by Alex Lee. Most notably, he plays Daredevil in Marvel Rivals. He's also done some other like anime dubs. I believe he also plays a character in Invincible, the video game, actually, just recently. But yeah, another anime dub. Love you, doing great, Alex. He also Twitch streams, so we love that. We love to see that. But yeah, this was another one where I was like, do I like it because it's edgy or do I want to fuck the shit? I don't know. And still to this day, I'm honestly still confused on it. I'm gonna be totally honest. You know what? It works. It works. So shut up. We don't need to drag all of
We
that
don't
there.
yuck your yum here.
Yeah. Again, we're this whole game is about essentially fucking like pieces of your household in terms of appliances, furniture. So we ain't here to yuck anyone's yum. We aren't here to kink shame, but kink potentially ask questions about.
Yeah.
Maybe. um next. Who do we have next on this list?
Speaking of dirty characters, Luna like Dirk.
All right. That he's voiced by Johnny Youngbosh. I'm pretty sure if I'm looking at this list. If I Where
Yes,
is he on this list? Yeah, he
it
is.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So already another like anime dub, another like game voice actor that you've probably heard like a million everywhere. Him and look, him and Harper are in such a goddamn toxic, like codependent relationship. He needed to get out. He needed to get out now.
Regardless if
It
we
would
didn't do the love ending with him, he did not need to be in that relationship anymore.
no, he did not. And honestly, I don't, and this is a common thing. I don't like super like uptick character. I don't like super prissy characters, if that makes sense. Like super snooty characters. 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, okay, you just stick up your ass. Like I'm not gonna like bother if you're not gonna talk to me like a regular human being. So when I saw Clarence, which is because Dirk is dirty clothes, he's your dirty laundry. If you wash him and he becomes Clarence, so clean laundry. And I'm just like, oh, if I were to romance you as Clarence, you just have to be a stick up your ass, and I'm not about that. I'm not about that. So I'm just like, I'd rather you be free, even though I would have to coax you in so much like setting spray or deodorant or something. I would have to like, I'd have
It
to
would
do something to
stink.
make sure. Yeah, even I have my own limits with this. Like no. And yes, I know I said I would have a thing for the trash can, but at least the trash can has a lid that I can just close. That's it. Like, at least there's limits here. Dirk isn't.
Yeah. We have Wallace, which pretty much was an accident. But honestly, who cares? Because he's just the wall. All he says is wall. I vibe with it. Sure.
He's just happy to be here. Wallace is voiced by Ray Chase. He does actually quite a few characters in this game. Ray Chase, most recently, he plays Cyclops in not only Marvel Rivals, but he also plays Cyclops in X-Men '97 and a few other X-Men properties.
Yep.
He also plays Neuvillette in Genshin Impact. Anyone who knows the meme will know exactly what I'm talking about. That's him. But yeah, you almost can't even tell that it's Ray Chase half the time when he does like other characters. So again, good job, Ray. You're doing good, bud. You're doing great.
Amazing range.
Um, yeah, again, very good range. Yeah, this is one of the ones where I wanted to do friends so badly, but almost every walkthrough I looked at was like, this is basically an automatic. I don't want it. Can I just have a brick of a man that's not just essentially a Pokemon saying his name over and over again? But I didn't want to be mean, which was probably
Yeah.
the only way to get him to speak normally. So I was like, fine, you're reluctantly invited in, but you will stand in the corner and you will not say anything, and you will be facing the corner.
You will be the wall that protects everyone.
Oh my god.
And then we have Rinaldi, which is the ironing board.
Mhm.
And the only way to, or I guess just the iron, not the ironing board. Either way,
I think it's both.
he.
I think he's supposed to be. Yeah, he's the fold-out ironing board. Is
Mhm.
his official qualification? But yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he is locked behind a door, like I said, with Dorian, and the only way to get to him is to go through Bobby Pin, their story. You have to do their entire story, and then they actually end up near the door for Rinaldi, and they open it for you, and you meet him, and I'm pretty sure he just was like really happy that we freed him or something like that, and he was like, "I love you."
Yeah, you only get one interaction with him, and I think it's an automatic love. I'm pretty sure. I don't think you can get
Which,
any. I think we tried. I think we tried to get because like we're not really into the magician, into the design. Again, it looks cool, but there was nothing really stand out because we've heard so much about him. But we're like, really, this we did all this for that?
yeah,
Really?
we
Like
chose
we
the
weren't super.
most. We chose the non-flirty answers, but also the nice answers. But it
Yeah,
didn't matter.
no, it didn't. He just like forced himself upon us, and we're like, you can keep Wallace company. At least Wallace has somebody to talk to. Don't look directly in my eyes, please. Like,
Yeah,
like we're not hating anybody that likes Rinaldi. He's just not the kind of character for us.
but also I feel like having to go through all that work for the for Bobby's story. Not saying that it's like a ton of work, like, and it's
Hmm.
annoying to do, but I feel like it's a nice reward, I guess, for going through that long story with Bobby.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. There's a couple characters in this game that are like that you basically have to complete one character's entire storyline before getting even like a small like snippet of that other character.
Yeah.
Like, the geode, for example, will never be able to pronounce her full name. She's too majestic. I love her design, but she's very like goddess vibe. Um, you basically have to go through like two separate plot lines to get to her,
Hmm.
essentially. And that took forever because we're just like, we don't really care about these characters. We're not really super into these characters. Again, no hate to anyone. Again, we're not here to activating us for us to be like, we just want to be friends. And that's like kind of it. So we have to go through all of that so we can talk to a rock, a very
Yep.
pretty rock.
But it's fine because then that way we get to learn about every character.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it was worth it, but like now that like I will say this, her little like display thing or whatever that you actually have in the house that you interact with, it is really cute. Like I would probably buy a statue of that. That's really cute.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have like
The
the
last
last one?
two on our love list is Eddie and Volt, which was technically yours, but I also grew upon as we
Yeah.
learned the story.
Eddie and Volt are voiced by Jonas Scott, which, as previously mentioned, he mostly known for playing the voice of Legoshi in the English dubbing for Beastars, a very famous anime. And he also does VTubing, so that's cool. That's cool. Um, I I'm gonna be totally honest. I was mostly in it for Eddie because Volt and Eddie are essentially one and the same. They are a package duo. You cannot date one without the other. So you either get both of them or you get none of them. I was mostly doing it for Eddie because once again, edginess and also I can change him. I can totally change him. What are you talking about? But I did grow to like Volt in his more flirty personality though and more forward, while Eddie was more in the back, trying to like hold everything together. So I was
Yeah.
in the same boat with you, where I was like, I grew to like, I already liked Eddie, but I grew to like Volt through their their character dynamic and their writing. So I was just like, I was in it for your boyfriend, but I'm also in it for you too. So you know what? Sure. You know what? Hell yeah. um,
Luna can have Eddie half the week, and I'll keep Volt to myself, and then we switch with where Eddie goes
yeah,
every week.
yeah. Yeah. And once again, Jonah plays both Eddie and Volt. Like there's no separate character playing one or the other. And I think he does a good job of separating the two and making them their own characters. And again, a testament to the voice acting being phenomenal. Played by the same guy, but you would never be able to tell that they're played by the same guy. You probably would think it's two separate people, which again is just good testament to good range. I
Yeah.
would say Eddie's performance is more closer to like an angrier Legoshi, if that makes sense. He like in his performance, I could definitely hear Legoshi more. But when I heard Volt's voice, I was like, "Oh, you're going for a British accent. I see what we're going with, or like a vaguely British accent, but like not really."
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm very happy I grew to like both and not just the one because I would feel kind of bad that it was just the one. And from what I've seen online, most people will agree that Eddie is their favorite.
Yeah.
Uh, which
Which reasonable.
fair, reasonable. But I am happy that Volt does get some love. Because again, package duo essentially one and the same character, so you know. Also the logistics of their whole setup. So a thing that's a mechanic, not really mechanic, but more like a storytelling thing, is when you put on the Dateviators, aka the main mechanic of the game, to see these humanized versions of your house furniture. What the glasses do, it basically also teleports you and or transports you into some sort of like pocket dimension of some kind where Eddie and Volt is the electrical box in the second floor. And their whole shtick is that this electric box that holds all your power is like a speakeasy bar or like just like a regular like rundown bar. And every single time we went there, I was like, how the fuck does this work? I know it's a visual novel, so they can't show us that, but logistically, how the fuck does that work? Does that mean I just walk in my closet and just stand there? Because the glass, like, how does that work?
Yeah,
I need
that's
a visual
exactly what
aid.
you do. You're just
I
standing there staring at your electrical box.
but then, but is it like
I
an
imagine
avatar thing? Like, is it
I
like a
imagine it's
like the
like
Bobby?
maybe I imagine it's like a zoom, like a microscope, I guess technically. It's just zooming in and like it's technically inside there, but not really. But it's
Mm-hmm.
more you're just seeing it as a perspective and not you're not actually obviously there.
Mm-hmm.
And the glasses are amplifying that.
Or maybe it's like a projection thing, maybe because I do know there's interaction. Is you're like they say it in the text box, but like they'll describe Volt like holding your hand into a seat like in front of the stage of that
Yeah.
bar. So I think it might just be a projection thing. I think it's a similar vein to like Avatar, the blue Navi people, not the water bending. I think it's in the same vein of like of that, where it's like you retain the memories, but it's like a projection or like you know what I mean.
Well,
I want to say
it's
it's
the
that.
same. It's the same with everyone else too. They're not actually there. It's a projection.
Yeah. Which again, if you look at it that way, like we had a constant running joke of like we're just running around this house with barely any clothes on, including our red shirt that DY so very graciously added to our little PNG tubers. But just the idea of us essentially maybe like PJ pants, maybe, and this red shirt running around this house, not eating, not sleeping. Well, we sleep, but not eating, not taking a shower, not changing our clothes, just running around talking to our appliances like a crazy person. And we just imagine our neighbors being like, "What the fuck are these guys doing? Like, they haven't
Oh
left their
boy, they're
house."
back. They're back. Someone's just staring in through the window, seeing us talking to our couch, and they're just like, "Do I need to call the police? Is this person okay?"
Why do they look like? Why did? Hey Jerry, like, hey Teresa, why does our next door neighbor look like he wants to fuck his front door? How do you know he wants to fuck his front door? I don't know. He gives out that vibe, and I should I call the police? Should I be concerned?
We need to call a mental hospital.
But yeah, that's all of our like main harem. I don't think we're gonna be uh more to it. I think ours is pretty set in stone. It has been like that for a while.
Mm.
We might as well go ahead and get into some of the other ones that like stood out to us in terms of just like maybe their story because we can't really talk about the ones we don't really out, you know?
Yeah.
So we might as well talk about the
Starting
at
off,
the
I want to talk about Keys because Keys is amazing. Technically, we're not supposed to know the ending of Keys because back was it March that my computer decided to kill itself a few
something.
times, and
Yeah.
the entire stream got deleted, so we've had to redo everything from that.
Yeah.
No, it was well, either way, we had to redo some of it, but I personally really like Keys' story because she's just a girl who doesn't realize that she's a hand me down and she thinks that we're like this massive composer person and she clearly has trouble making friends. So the whole story is you well, she starts off being kind of rude to other objects in the house and she wants certain things done for her, but they don't really appreciate how she's approaching them to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
so she gets upset that they're not being nice to her. But then as
Mm.
you get along in the story, you actually kind of introduce her to other people. Like Telly,
Mhm.
for example, the television, she finds that she actually enjoys watching TV, which I think is really cute because she's
Yeah.
a,
She's been
or
sheltered, basically.
yeah,
She's been sheltered basically her whole life, so she only knows about concertos and sonatas, basically music terminology shit. That's all she's ever known because she's a big ass grand piano in the middle of our fucking living room.
yeah,
like so if she's so used to like the life of luxury because a grand piano is A expensive and also B if not upkept properly, it like first of all, the piano is one of the hardest instruments to play consistently. It's named as one of the hardest instruments to like properly learn to that grand scale that she's been describing when she was in her old like housing situation
like
at like a university.
not everyone's going to be Beethoven level. That's what
Yeah.
we mean by that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is fine. We don't like dude, I took a couple of like piano lessons in high school for music for like credits. I do not remember literally anything else after that. So don't worry about it. But yeah, like she's so used to being treated like royalty because most people in that space would treat a grand piano like that because it's so expensive and it's so delicate and it takes so much to to upkeep. So she's used to being pampered by because everybody at that university would have to treat it that way. Cuz like that's expensive and like we don't have the money to replace it, so we got to keep it like in good condition.
Yeah. But at the very end of her story, she plays this sonata that she had been working on the entire time. And
Mhm.
I just want to say it was beautiful, even though it was like 20 minutes long.
It was long, but I think that's most sonatas though.
But I mean, hey,
Like that's
we get to hear it again when we eventually, because I'm pretty sure she's on like
I
either
thought we finished.
two.
Didn't,
Did
didn't
we?
we already finish? I thought we did.
I thought we
Check
were
the
on. I think we are on like the penultimate interaction. No, it doesn't say it's updated on here, so
Oh, I thought it was. All right.
I think we're on the penultimate for her of the redo of it because the stream got deleted.
Oh, right. Yeah. But yeah. I again, both me and DY have music backgrounds, at least in some capacity. So we're, especially me being, a choir kid, I've definitely like love and appreciate her design, especially, and a lot of the small little tidbits that she talks about when she was at the university. I can be like, yeah, I can imagine my choir director doing that because he also plays piano. So it's like, or he did. Um, but like I don't know, like when you have the background knowledge of this stuff, it makes it more believable. I think that's maybe why you like Tony a lot because you have a background with construction. So that was an extra level of my god, my dude, you don't know what you're doing, but you know what? You're too pretty that I don't even care.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, Keys, she's an absolute diva. She slays. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But like
Yeah. Um, I guess next could be Bodhi.
hmm yeah. Bodhi is a time capsule of 1980s nostalgia. Um, I I'm not gonna lie, I borderline was debating if I wanted to have a love ending with him. I was being like, I thought about it, but I also realized that I can only handle so much of a himbo. And you're probably thinking, well, bestie, you have Tony, who is arguably dumber than this guy. Fair, but also, we would have said yes to Tony anyways because DY. So, so Tony would have been there regardless. But I don't know. He toes the line for me, but we ultimately became friends instead of having a love ending.
Yeah.
He's he's almost like what's a good way to put it? He's like like Dan of Game Grumps mixed with Steve Harrington from Stranger Things, if that makes sense. Like very like surfer bro in terms of personality. Um, but still very like keyed in on specific things. Like Dan is more for like the pop culture of it all. Steve is there for the vibes. That
Yeah.
kind of like mesh I'm talking about.
He's
So
gnarly.
he do be gnarly. Um his I don't know, his much like Keys, his ending bit is him performing a song again, very 80s power ballad. I would expect nothing less. Honestly, kind of a bop. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a bop.
All the music in this game is a bop.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I bought the game, I didn't realize. I think I got it in a bundle. I didn't realize that there was going to be a character in the DLC that pops up randomly when you're trying to talk to someone. So, in the midst of us attempting to either romance or just like meet a certain character, Lucinda herself would show up, which she is quite literally just the personification of the DLC. Um, Eventually, we got tired of her and we purposely got a hate ending with her, which, looking back on it, I think we both feel kind of bad about because
Mhm.
it was solely just get out of our face, we're busy. But now that we have everyone that we're probably going to have in our love circle, we feel bad about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's where Reggie comes into play. Reggie is the personification of rejection. Um oh my god. I Reggie is an interesting character. I think the fact that even though Reggie uses he him pronouns as used in this wiki, he dresses very androgynous esque. And the fact that he just revels in the fact that rejection is just like I think it's just a really interesting concept, the fact that you could date rejection, which in and of itself would not be rejection. I just think that's like a paradox loop, and I just think it's really
Yeah,
fascinating.
but I mean, hey,
Like,
it works though for the game.
yeah, it weirdly does in a way.
Mm-hmm. And
uh
to wrap up this little bit about our, because obviously we haven't gotten through everyone, but for our most notable, I'm going to say Zoe, which is the ghost.
yeah. The ghost in your attic.
Uh, yeah. Basically, she was murdered by this random dude that she found in her neighborhood, and he did a ritual or something and killed her. But her entire story is you learning what happened to her and
Mhm,
her, I guess, experience and trauma from it.
mhm,
But she's also like really friendly and happy all the time, and it kind
mhm.
of makes the trauma of it all go down smoother, I guess.
Yeah. It softens the blow a little bit.
Yeah,
Again, I think this was another one where I think if we about it, we her. I think if we like talked a little bit more, we might have. But obviously, I'm just over here being like, I love her in a best friend way. But I think she would have been a contender to if we were to add another woman in, it probably would be her.
yeah.
She's such golden retriever energy, and it's it's phenomenal. Ashley Birch, I think I'm pronouncing that right. She does a phenomenal job of portraying this like innocent, but innocent in the sense of like naivety. and I think it's just very, very well done.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, basically for everyone else, we're either going to get there's only a few that we want to hate at first, but then obviously go back and redo.
Mhm.
Like for example, the rat trap.
Oh, the rat trap. I hate the rat trap. I hate the rat trap. Again, I mean no hate to the voice actor. I do not. Um I just nah, dude. It's not for me. I do not understand what people see in this man. No, no, I can't. I can't. I know some people like the like there are certain celebrities in certain eras or like certain moments in their lives where they look very rat like. And what I mean by that is that they look really scrungly and very disgruntled. This is not that case. This is not an adorable scrungle. This is I should spray this thing with a spray bottle because this thing terrifies me. I
Yes.
hate the crap so much. Um, the only small thing, according to the wiki, is that his storyline revolves around animal death because he's a rat trap. Nothing too, I would say nothing too graphic, but at the same time, this game has known to do maybe a little bit, some
Yeah.
visual aid pictures. Um, but I don't know. I just don't fuck with it. I don't vibe with it. Again, we ain't gonna yuck your yum, but I'm over here being like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, like I need to know
You do
if you
you,
would.
boo.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Keith because he hurt our baby Dorian.
yeah. We Keith is the skeleton key that you can find in the same place as the rat trap. His little thing here is, and I quote, "Okay, basically he's a master manipulator. If you don't like that behavior, you too comfortable with this guy." If that tells me everything I need to know as to why this is an immediate hate ending.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to know any more about that, like, at all.
No. I think that's oh, Rebel,
Nope.
I guess.
Well, 2 actually, there's 2 more. Rebel is the rubber duck. Um,
She's just or
aga
they're just a bitch, so
again, according to the wiki, this says the reason for their content warning. This ducky is dangerous. This one gives off very sexual energy, very profanity laced energy, very everything. They also, in certain paths, can have the power to just pop out of nowhere. If you're the least bit turned off by anything rude, I'd skip this one. That immediately to me is like, no, no, absolutely not. When we first met Rebel, one of their like intro lines was a reference to most popular girls in school. For those of you who don't know, MPGIS is a internet web show using stop motion Barbies. It's basically Euphoria, but like not you, if that makes sense. It's very camp. It's very like it is of the time. It's originally started in like 2011, 2012, give or take. So some of the jokes have not particularly aged well, but I swear to God, I could probably make a chunk of those episodes. They are genuinely really funny. They're very well written, and you would never believe me if I said that that series, which is so drag adjacent, it was written by 2 straight men. Because again, we had the walkthrough, and when I saw that response, I was like, "Are they gonna do this?" Because if they are, I don't care what the walkthrough personal benefit, and I did. Um, but other than that, Rebel, I'm so sorry. No, we don't have that kink. I'm sorry. That's not for us. Not
I don't
not you
like people
specifically.
being rude to me on purpose.
Yeah, that doesn't give off love vibes to me. I'm gonna be totally honest.
No.
Next on the ones that I think would be, at least for me, a hate is Timothy Timepiece, aka the Cat Clock, voiced by Bryce Papenbrook. Bryce
Bryce
Papenbrook is
Papenbrook
another.
plays Cat Noir and a lot of anime people.
But yeah, Bryce does a ton of stuff. Again, as DY said, he's another anime guy, another very prolific in video games and all that. Again, ha ha ha, very funny guys. Chat Noir in Miraculous Ladybug, and you have him play a black cat clock. Very funny, guys. The
Hilarious.
reason, yeah, hilarious. The reason why I hate this man is because he essentially has two different personalities. Where one of them is very uptick and very like you must follow the rules and the schedule, which you already know that I hate, as previously mentioned. And then the other side is him basically being a cat and referring to him in the third person. I'm just like, no, I'm not. No, right there, stop it right there. I don't want to talk to you in your normal form, and I definitely don't want to have essentially like cat boy in the literal sense. If you're doing it for aesthetics, that's something different. But the fact that you're leaning into it is not. It's not for me. Not for me. I would assume one of the good endings, because you can like there's there's three different endings where one of them is you fully get rid of the cat, you fully get rid of him like regular stickler in the mud, and then you have the main one that the two. Obviously, assumingly that's what we want to do. We want him to have a balance between his more stickler for a schedule and then being a lazy cat. But in the way that's presented is just not. Nah, nah, dude, it's not for me. No. Again, Papenbrook does a good job voice acting. Again, we're no hating actors, but the way that they write him, it's either like one two way, like it's in one like it's in such a way it's almost like a pendulum almost. It's like one way to the extreme and then the other way to the extreme. And I hate both.
Same.
Again, really good design, and it's just an excuse to get a Catboy in the game. But I just
Not for me.
when we event yeah, when we eventually have to get to his story, I just want like make up so that way you can shut up and leave. I mm.
Get out
Again, you would
of our house.
yeah, yeah. In this case, genuinely throw the cat out. Yeah. Again, you would think that with everything else and some of my other like list of characters that I find attractive, you would think like I would have no shock if when we first saw this character you're like, "Oh, Luna's going to love this guy." And I'm like, "I hate him. Get the spray bottle." Like
I
like I wouldn't be surprised if you immediately thought that.
don't think
Um
so.
yeah, no.
I think it was
It's
more so just like him being annoying. So I was like, oh, I don't think she would like that.
and you are right. Either version of him. If it's not like a main like combined where he's like more chill, no. That being said, this could change when we eventually go through his storyline, and maybe when we do the person, maybe it might be different. But for right now, I'm just like, no, no. I don't like either of your personalities. Can you just like make up and just like be whole, please,
Yeah.
please? I think that no, there's one more. We haven't gone to him yet. We're in the bare basics of him, but the candelabra, that's another one that we have a
Oh,
hate
yeah.
relationship with. Once again, also voiced by Ray Chase. Um, Candelabra is basically, if you know about the Barbie movies, he's basically the villain in Prince by Martin Short. He's basically that, but somehow even more pettier. This this man is such a gossip. And you would think that's super fun of like, oh, like maybe no. No. This comes off as like a petty gay man in like the worst way possible. And again, no hate to Ray Chase. We have like I'm not again, very good job. If you can actively get an emotion out of me towards your character, that means you're doing a good job of acting that character. Whether that's love or hate, that means you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
I think it's just his writing. I think once again it's the snooty personality that I absolutely do not like in the slightest. Like, we're
Just
not
want to
super
strangle
far.
him.
Yeah. Every single time we walk past him, we're just like, I want to throw you out the window. I will shake you. Just like literally taking the candelabra and just like, I will shake you until you break. I swear to God.
Yep.
Dishy? Dishy would be another one that we're like,
I wouldn't say
no.
we're not gonna hate him, but he's not our favorite.
Yeah. I think the Sinclair is probably the same thing too, where I don't think we're gonna hate him, but it's like, mm,
He's he's in the same similar boat as Timmy or
mhm.
Timothy, but he's not, or they're not un like they're not as bad as Timothy Timepiece.
Yeah. Yeah, Sinclair is less of a bad. Like, I would tolerate Sinclair more than Dishy because Dishy's just a dishwasher. But if my memory serves me right, they like if you get a hate ending with Dishy, it's like genuinely like what the. It's almost like an anime boss where I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like this, I you mean to tell me I have to be nice to the sentient dishwasher? I'd rather talk with the sink for a face. And I mean
Why
that
do I hear
literally.
boss music?
I think the last one on here, because the rest of them we're not super entrenched in or like super involved in. Lux, the lamp, that they portray them as an influencer, and once again, I mean no hate to the voice actor at all. Once again, snooty personality, has such a fucking ego, and I'm like, no, 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 I cannot. Do that. I've seen some people be like, oh, this is the bitchy friend you would gossip to, but you never talk any like personal detail with. And I'm like, the fact that you can't do that should already be, like
Well, they're
I don't
just
know.
a walking red flag.
Yeah. Although according to the wiki here, there's not anything about their storyline. It's just they're really annoying. This is
Yeah.
like every stereotypical like beauty influencer you could possibly imagine. It's based that's what Lux is, essentially. That is everyone, but I want to mention the husbands
Oh yeah.
because we have stories to tell about the husbands. So what I mean by that is you have a washer and dryer for your laundry. Drysdale, who is voiced by Neil Newbon, and then we also Washford, where he's like all the way down here. Uh, voiced by David Sobolov, and their storyline is essentially husbands that had an argument, not quite a divorce, but close to a divorce,
Very close.
and it And I love Neil Newbon. Obviously, I love Astarion. Haha, surprise, surprise. But I also just like Neil Newbon as a performer. I think he's done fantastic work, other than just Astarion. And again, they do a really good job. Like both him and David do a job. However, the entire time we were doing their storyline, because once again, this was one of the ones where we fucked up because we didn't have the way to get certain reactions and therefore certain endings with some characters is you have to have a certain level of points within a certain category. They call them specs, but it's essentially like progression points, essentially. If you get a certain amount that you can hit, you can use a certain response, and that will get the desired ending you want. Um, Washford and Drysdale was so convoluted. We had to do it like three separate times, maybe more, because we kept fucking it up. And at
Yeah,
this
because
point,
we would
at that,
choose. Well, one of the times we chose something that wasn't correct, which we thought was correct, and that messed it up. So then we had to restart it. It was
Mhm,
just a whole process, and we were so when we were finished.
yeah, um, it was it was not fun. By the end of it, we literally looked at these two like old men, and I was just like, just kiss already. Shut up and make up. I swear to God, I don't want to hear about your pointless bickering any longer. Please, for God's sake, if I have to push you two together, I will. Like, fuck.
And
It was
all because of dirt.
all because of laundry. Yeah. That being said, though, the fact that there is an option to have a threesome with them, I'm just like, no, you guys have your own. I don't want to fucking deal with this. I've had too much of you. I'm like, no, thank you.
You two can just get back together. We can be besties. And
Yeah, like,
also stay in the laundry room. Don't come out.
yeah, we don't want to hear about your freak stories. Yeah, actually, I don't think I've ever mentioned this. There was at one point where I was like, oh, that's Neil Newbon. I might romance that. But when hearing about Washford and the way they were thinking about each other, I was like, oh, so clearly exes. I just want them to get back together. I don't want to be part of this threesome. I just want them to get back together. Like at that point. So
If we can fix Doom Diawi, we fix Doom Diawi.
we did fix Doomed, yeah. We have to fix Doomed Yuri. That I don't know if we have enough points for Doomed Yuri, but we do. Doomed Yuri, by the way, in this case, is Celia, the ceiling of the house, and the mayor in this like projected world we've talked about. And Florence, aka the Floor, who's also her secretary, that is Doomed Yuri. Florence wants Celia so badly, it is ungodly. Like, girl,
Yeah.
like, have some self-respect, please. Rainy was fun. Rainy for the record player, played by Janelle Randall. This was another one where I was like, you know what? I would be besties with these
Yeah.
of the time. I love her design. I love like the flapper design with sense for the time period with the record player. It's just good, 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 good. I
He's
do
overall
like.
just a really fun character.
Yeah. That was a one that I was like genuinely surprised by, where we learned more about. Yeah.
She was definitely a
Yeah.
contender for a dating, I would feel.
Yeah, absolutely. She'd be fun. She'd be fun. Let's talk about some of the other like decorational characters. So like Prissy, for example, Prissy Plastique, fake plant you find in the attic. Um, I this was another one where I think we just want to get this, and she was a really easy one to finish. But then we
Yeah.
grew to actually kind of like her personality, and she also gave us plants in the house, so another extra like decor thing to look at. But we
Anything to
actually
make
grew.
the house look like it's actually lived in.
Yeah, but we did end up growing to like her personality.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about it. Um, art. Art is next. In a similar vein to Lady Memoria, art is the artwork you find around your house and the big canvases in the attic. His whole thing is the same deal as Memoria, where he'll propose to you some artwork to be placed around the house. You have a select few to place them in, and all that. Some of the art pieces were really cool. I'm not gonna lie. However, the last one we picked was in a really unfortunate place. The last one we picked is this like burglar picture, and it's very like a weird texture thing that's like over top of it. It's above the toilet in the downstairs bathroom.
Love it.
I
It's an art piece. Mm-hmm.
oh my god. Um I again, I grew to love it, but again, this was another one where I'm just like, this really? If we knew prior to what they looked like, we might have like done it a bit better. But for the most part, I liked where we
We
put it.
created a meme out of the bathroom one, so
Yeah. Which is very fitting because the toilet himself is definitely a character
yeah.
that um God, just how do they come for a toilet, which already has a lot of like kind of. Why would you make a French rapper played by a guy who's not French? Max
He's a
Middleman, I love
crapper.
you. He's a crapper, yeah. Jean Lu, again, going with the puns, obviously, as most of these names are, is played by Max Middleman. Most of you will know him as I know him as Ryuji from Five, but he's also Arataki Ito in Genshin Impact. I will say this: he cooked with this voice because you can so tell that it's clearly an American doing a French accent, but it's so ridiculous with the concept they went for him anyways that it weirdly fits.
It works.
It weirdly works. It weirdly fits. And Again, concept-wise, I think it's funny. I don't think we're ever gonna romance him. Like, he's probably one of the last characters we're gonna have to romance because his, like, requirements are so high, but
Yeah. He,
I don't
he
know,
he's
it's
he's gonna be our friend, but he doesn't get invited to any of the parties.
he's not invited to the cookout or anything like that, no. Absolutely not. Oh, we can talk about Parker. Parker is the board games also in the attic. He's voiced by Brendan Lee Mulligan. Again, another DM. He's also done like other stuff for Dimension 20 and all that. Um, I mm, his was another one that we accidentally fucked up his story
But
when we
luckily,
originally
it
did it.
doesn't exist because the VOD was deleted.
Yeah, the VOD was deleted because it got corrupted. So it doesn't even matter. And I love that.
It never happened.
I
I don't
do
know
like the
why. I don't
final.
know why, but the meme from Madagascar where Skipper is going down into the hole that they
Oh
made.
yeah, you
He's
didn't
like, "You didn't
see
see anything."
anything. Yeah.
That popped
Um,
into my head.
yeah. I do like that the very last bit of Parker's like story, you needed dice, and the only dice we have is chance. So the fact that chance is there, so it's two guys that have been DMs before playing a regular like Monopoly-esque parody or whatever it was is just really funny to me. The visual of that is just really funny. Just
It
like
just
us
works.
crowding it weirdly works. The idea of the three of us crowding around like a board game on the floor of an attic, no chairs, no table, on the floor is really stupid to me, but it's also really funny.
Also, going back to Zoe real quick, the whole way that you bring her back from being dead, but not. It's more like a limbo
See?
situation, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But basically, you get all of the concepts in the house. So, existential grid, memoria, uh, the rest of
Text box
them.
chat. Text box chat, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
But,
yeah, you can date the text boxes
yep,
in this game.
you can also date the credits.
Yep. You can
And
date the credits.
just because it's a running joke with one of our viewers, you cannot date the microplastics in your food, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, you bring all the concepts into the attic with Zoe, and basically the seance is them, I guess,
Mhm.
channeling their energies because they're, like I said, they're all concepts, they're not real things. So they're channeling their essence into her and bringing her back into the real world because she can't see any of them and she can
Mhm.
only see us. They can't see her. But when we brought her back, she could actually interact with everyone. So
Mhm.
that was cute.
Yeah. But yeah, mostly everyone else on this list is mostly just pretty neutral or we haven't finished their quest lines yet. So it's like pretty not and it, again, it's not to say that we hate some of these characters. It's just some of them haven't really stuck out to us,
Yeah.
in a way.
More than half of them have just been a single interaction.
Yeah. Most of them, yeah.
But like
And
we
again,
said
some of them
earlier, we're
aren't
going to get in. We eventually want to get into everyone because as we learned, some of the characters that we weren't already interested in, that we already have endings with, we actually found their story more interesting than we thought we were going to. So we're hoping it goes like that for the rest of the characters we haven't really interacted with.
yeah. Like, I'm looking at all of the list right now, and I'm just trying to remember, like, who we do have that we have, like, a notable progression in their stories. Some of them I am kind of intrigued in terms of how their story goes. Um, for example, I could like Daisuke, for example, who is your dishware. He seems semi interesting, and another one that if the story is done well, I could maybe see for a love ending, at least for me. But it's very like like towing the line. We need to see how you go before you can be accepted into the harem. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, even with Beverly,
Mhm.
I think we're penultimate. If I or did we finish?
No, I don't think we finished. No.
We're
I
we're
think it's like
we're
really
very close.
close.
We're very close to her ending. But
Mhm.
I I think, well, I don't know about you, but my first impression was, oh, she's just gonna be a bartender. You just like kind of get to know her like normally like you do when you go to a bar, I
In a
guess.
stereotypical, yeah, in a stereotypical like movie setting, yeah, similar
Yeah,
vein, yeah.
but her whole story is basically her bar's going under, and so you go out and basically you become her marketing manager, and
Yeah.
you bring everyone in, and I don't know, I thought that was a lot more interesting because, like I said, I was just thinking it was going to be stereotypical. Oh, you're
Yeah.
just friends with the bartender, but it actually opened my eyes, and I thought it was a fun little advancement to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It played with our expectations and I really like that. Another quick mention that also was like borderline, do I want a love ending? Was Mr. Johnny Splash, played by Robbie Damon. Most I know him as Akechi, again, Persona 5, but again, another prolific um dub and like anime voice actor and gaming and all that jazz. So chances are you've probably heard him somewhere. He's also been on a few episodes, Critical Role as well. Um, Johnny is essentially just an Elvis impersonator.
And we
But
love
he
him
does it
for
in
it.
such he's so pathetic, and you can't help but love him because he's so pathetic. But once again, it gets to a point, and I'm just like, look, bestie, um, no, I don't know, I don't know what it is that towed the line between like I'll for for romance because I do genuinely feel bad. Because his whole thing is like, oh, I wanna have my big dreams, and then he does, but then he essentially gets ridiculed on their version or like The Voice or some like music competition kind of deal.
Yeah.
And which again, if you think about it too hard, it's like they're just watching a video of a built-in shower, and like, what does that look like? Which let's not think about that too much. Um, like you can't help but feel bad for
Mm.
him, but it's almost like a sad puppy kind of deal where it's just like I'd feel like a horrible human if I like kicked you while you were still down. Um again, I like the fact that that Robbie Damon did do the singing. He did do the singing and he purposely did it bad, all while doing like a vague Elvis impression, but more southern, if that makes sense.
Yeah. He did an amazing job though.
Yes. He's also not. That's also not the only character he plays. He also plays the Hanks, which are coat hangers. There's five of them. They basically all share the brain cell. Like 1 minute, they share a singular brain cell every like minute. Like 1 minute, one of them has it, and then another minute.
Yep.
Um,
Luna
I
wants to
like.
spray the ginger one with a water bottle.
He's too frisky for me. Like you can't be overtly flirty like that. No, sir. No, no, thank you. I think the green one is my favorite. If I had to pick, I think the green one. Hank
Mm,
number 5. I think he's
yeah.
my favorite. I think closely followed by the blonde one, the one in red, the fur like the one in orange, and then Ginger. Ginger gets the spray bottle. Bonus points if it has pepper spray in it. It's too much to me. It's like it's too much. But that's my own problem. So, you know. We don't have
Yeah.
to get into all that. You know what? There was one character in this list that I thought you would enjoy, and we haven't really done much of his storyline. Abel, who is the table, who's voiced by Steve Blum. He's done literally everything under the sun. Mostly known for Wolverine, a good chunk of like X-Men stuff, Wolverine and Rivals, Marvel Rivals. Again, if you're looking for that. But again, another anime dub guy, well, another video games kind of guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays Wolverine in the new Insomniac game that's coming out sometime soon. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think they've revealed the cast for that yet. Um, I thought you were gonna like Abel. I don't know why it felt like personality wise, but we haven't really done anything with him to like warrant that.
It's the whole thing with us being like getting the ones that we care about first and then working in it.
Mm.
But I don't know. I think if I think I need to learn more about him.
Hmm. Yeah, because he's got a good disposition. Like he's a very kind Southern gentleman, and we love that. But he's so insecure, from what we understand. He's like, well, why would you want to date me? Why would Russian office desk? Why would you want to date like this other character? I don't remember. Like, why would you want to date me? You should date this one or this one. And we're like, babes, we're talking to you because we have. Why else would we be talking to you? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
mm. But yeah, we need more information on him, along with the
Yeah.
rest of the cast. So yeah, chances are, if we haven't mentioned your favorite character, chances are we're incredibly neutral on them, or we don't have enough information to really give a detail like about them in any way, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not. But we also need to learn more about everyone anyway.
Yeah.
Eventually, whenever we can play the game again.
Yeah, in like 10 billion years or whatever it is.
It'll be the 10th anniversary by the time we finish this. Which, speaking of, I think the 16th. It's currently the 18th of recording this. So 1 year anniversary. Happy anniversary date, everything.
Is it June? I thought it was in July that the anniversary was.
It's it's currently date everything week or anniversary week. June 17th, so yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, very late 1 year anniversary there. For the team and the cast for for a good game that I hope we actually finish one day.
We will. We will finish because we need
uh,
to. Otherwise, we're going to
yeah,
be very angry at ourselves.
yeah. We gotta hold ourselves accountable with our ADHD brains. Yeah. That being said, I think that should be time's up for us. I think it's about time that we wrap up.
Yeah. Feel free to put your favorite character down in the comments. We would love to know everything. And if you want, add why they're your favorite character too. But yeah, make sure to follow us on all of our socials. They'll be down in the description. And until next time, this has been Dysfunctional.